What's happening, Blue Jays fans? Craig Borden here, coming to you live for all things Blue Jays related here on Jays Latest. Today, we're going to make sure we talk just a little bit about how much fun we're having post-trade deadline here. So make sure you hit those like, share, subscribe buttons, and we will be here to talk Blue Jays every day. Hence the reason, Jays Latest. So anyway, on that note, Toronto Blue Jays, obviously, we got into a, fun rivalry we've had over the last few years here with the Kansas City Royals. But let's talk some news first. Shane Bieber is going to be officially making his first start in the Blue Jays system for the Buffalo Bisons today. He is expected to throw 70, 80 pitches ballpark, and the idea is that we're getting him closer and closer to making his actual Blue Jay blue suit up jersey night. So we'll see what happens on that avenue. But right now, he is 100% going to be getting closer. And it's been interesting to see where this is going. High side, Shane Bieber is the ace that this team needs. Low side is we have somebody that might be struggling at the end of the year that needs to take that giant player option that he has and actually put up one more year with the Blue Jays. But never know. We'll see what happens. But on that note, we got all things good at the major league level yesterday with a win. The Blue Jays do squeak out one against the Kansas City Royals yesterday. The Royals actually did pretty well the first game of this series. Yesterday, not so much. At the end of the day, Max Scherzer being at the center of everything going well for the Blue Jays yesterday. 6 strong innings, only allowing 5 hits. 1 earned run on a Salvador Perez home run, 5 strikeouts. I think the more intriguing part of that whole thing is that Salvador Perez hit his first major league home run off of Max Scherzer too. So maybe he's just got his number. It's that because that does happen. Max Scherzer, though, has been the breath of fresh air that this rotation needed. All things knock on desk here to ensure that his health continues to be good as it is, because watching him in the fire that is Max Scherzer on this mound has been incredible to watch. It was a fun day yesterday to watch Max Scherzer, the future Hall of Famer, on the mound at Skydome. And he got the support he needed yesterday too. So Blue Jays go 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position and found perfect ways without any extra base hits to be able to move guys around the pillows. So they score 4 runs, beat the Royals 4-2. But how did they do it if you're telling me that they didn't have any home runs, right? So there was plenty of things that ended up going on and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it just moved everybody around. Davis Schneider was the one that got it started with runners on first and third in the 3rd inning, and it kind of happened like that a few times in that inning, moving guys around the pillows, taking advantage of some errors, things like that. Davis Schneider loops this little ball over the infield, and it scores a pair. Tyler Heineman and Miles Straw will be able to do that. Tyler Heineman, unfortunately, was not on for this game. He did end up leaving. The thought at the time was concussion. So far, that doesn't sound like they got him in the concussion protocol, but today's news, we'll find out more. Following that, more guys in first and third. And Bo Bichette just squirts one right through the side of the first base, second base hole, and makes it that simple. So, as I mentioned, Salvador Perez was the only home run. That was in the 6th inning. That was the only Royals run. And, at that time, Salvador Perez, that was his 20th home run of the season. The guy is an ageless wonder as a catcher, and he still mashes. Royals would get another one, tag on a run with Adam Frazier scoring on a Kyle Isbell sac bunt, because that happens still. And then finally in the bottom of that inning, the Blue Jays get that 1 run back. Ernie Clement at the center of that one. Joey Loperfido coming in to score, who had bunted to get on base. So just bunt, get things moving in this game yesterday. Quite interesting. Bo Bichette continues to do Bo Bichette things, though. He goes 3 for 4 with that RBI I mentioned. And then Davis Schneider in the leadoff spot yesterday, 1 for 3 with those 2 RBIs in the 3rd. So the offense for the Blue Jays found enough to get things done yesterday. And Davis Schneider even was credited with a stolen base, because that happens too. So that offense, as I mentioned, it just didn't quite come up crazy for the Blue Jays yesterday, but timely hitting was the win, right? 3 for 7 is pretty good batting average when you're talking about runners in scoring position. And that's how the Blue Jays were able to spell the win yesterday and keep things moving. It was great to see. That's the thing I think about this team that's been the massive improvement from the beginning of the season. They have found ways to string hits together. They haven't been waiting for a home run. Everybody's picking each other up, continuing to move the line. And that does spell wins as it did yesterday. So on that note, let's go for another win today as the Blue Jays go to wrap things up with the Kansas City Royals here in town. Chris Bassett versus Seth Lugo today. Seth Lugo is fresh off of signing a contract extension, not a trade. He was on every trade rumor list you could humanly possibly think of, but he signed a contract extension with the Kansas City Royals instead, so he's going to be on the team for at least 2 more years. Seth Lugo has been incredible the last few years for the Kansas City Royals. Clearly found something he likes in that Kansas City air to be able to be such a good pitcher again. His last 2 outings, he's allowed 3 and 2 runs, but the outing before that, against the Miami Marlins, he allowed 5. Eek. So, on that note, his season ERA is still barely over 3. So, he might be in a rough patch right now with some mid-season fatigue or something like that. But he has been incredible for the Kansas City Royals, and the Blue Jays are going to have to deal with that today. And many of them have not faced him that much. Even Bo Bichette is batting 286 in 7 at bats, but he's picked up a couple of ribbies. Ty France has only had 4 against him. Might be in the lineup today because he's batting 500. Not too many people. Like I said, even Vlad Jr. only has 5 at bats for Seth Lugo. Meanwhile, on the flip side, the Royals have a few guys that have faced Chris Bassett a lot, but not done anything against him. Chris Bassett will be looking to improve off of a couple of rough outings. Baltimore just beat him up very badly and only allowed him to stay in the game for 2/3. But 7 hits, 6 earned runs in that last outing, but he was cruising a couple before that. So hopefully we get back to Chris Bassett doing Chris Bassett things. And what better way to do that with him being on the mound today at Skydome? So tune in here every day, Blue Jays fans. We're going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays and whatever happens to be going on. The big thing we also want to make sure we're watching is we are 100% now watching standings. And if you haven't been paying attention to standings, the Boston Red Sox have taken the second place in the American League East over the Yankees by half a game and currently lead the wild card as the best record past the division leaders. So interesting. Red Sox sneaking up on everybody right now. Watch out, everybody, including us Toronto Blue Jays fans. Take care, everybody. Go Blue Jays, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning.